All right. Hello everyone, how we doing? Welcome to VetAaron Gaming, welcome to the stream, where we are going to talk about pretty much anything and everything that pops up. So, if you guys are here and listening, say hi, say what's up. That way I know you guys can actually hear me and sound is working. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all, please throw them out whenever. For either Lord of the Rings or Eternal Evolution, we'll probably do some bouncing back and forth, kind of depending on what everybody wants to talk about. KB, hello, welcome. If there's anything you want to let me know what's going on with either game, please feel free to let me know. Let's see, let's try to get some sound on maybe here. Ooh, we do have sound. Technical difficulties left and right, especially with good old Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. Still a lot of sound problems there, but we'll see what we can do. Marduk's here. Hi. Wave. How we doing? All right. So I think for right now, the first thing I'm going to do is, so we have all the events up in Eternal Evolution, where we are going to be pulling cards. Actually, no, you know what the first thing I'm going to do is, real quick, I'm going to do a shout out to the Lord of the Rings Guild. It has a pretty sweet name here. I can't remember off the top of my head. Oh, that's right, VetAaron Gaming. Yeah. Shout out real quick because we actually got through Chapter 3 of the raid and we are ready to hit on Chapter 4 when it launches. So shout out to the guild. You guys are awesome. Loving it so far. All right, so let's see. First question here from Marduk. Marduk? I don't know. I'm probably butchering that. I apologize. How do I like the collaboration EE collab heroes? Okay, so not the collaboration itself, the heroes. I think it's pretty interesting so far. My one question so far is Moto, because Moto just gets absolutely slaughtered instantly in PvP. So I don't know if there's something going on there. Why, if there's some kind of glitch or some kind of bug. I haven't heard anything from the developers recently as far as what's going on with her, and they are pretty good at communicating with us when they know something is going on. They'll say, hey, we know something's going on, we're working on it. I haven't heard anything about that with Moto recently, so I don't know what the story is. And maybe it's just me, but she smashes in PvE. The PvP, I don't know. It's just not quite there yet. I don't think the cape works with her. I noticed that too. Yeah, there's something going on maybe with the prototype. Somebody else in one of my videos, I think my initial testing, there was something going on with the Apocalypse cloak here. Nope, wrong cloak. Too many cloaks in this game. There we go. Here's the Assassin cloak, the Phantom cloak. Where our assassin heroes receive reduced damage by 60% and then it gradually decays. And yeah, she gets smashed instantly. I don't know if I have any arena attempts left, but I think, and whatever, I'll just buy one real quick. She gets smashed instantly and it's so weird. Yeah, this will actually be probably a perfect indicator. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, so we do have the Phantom Cloak here. Granted, it's only level 9, but that's still 60% damage reduction right away. So let's go ahead and plug her in, and she will get absolutely smashed out here. Sorry, moving some stuff around. Do you know if there's a gear guide for home? Okay, that's a home question. I will get to you in just a minute. OCFB Mobile, appreciate it. So I'll throw this in real quick. We'll put it on EX1. So this is assassins versus assassins for the most part. And of course, watch this one not work. I'll actually win this one. I didn't see. Was my power higher? I don't know. I feel like the first time their heroes get any kind of ultimate, she's going to go down. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they started to work on it. Of course, when I try to actually show it, it's not going to happen. They're going for Fiona instead. But yeah, she is super glass cannon in PvP. I mean, if Bailey is still around, like, you better be around. whatever, we won. All right, not the demonstration I was hoping for. I thought the powers were similar. Adam, can you clarify on that? Thought powers were similar on what? PvP and PvE? She finished top on your team in damage. Oh, in that, yeah, like, that's the problem, though. She still hits very hard in PvP. The problem is she typically dies, like, instantly. Yeah, okay, the powers were similar. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe they did, like, a quick fix in there or something, or maybe that was just a lucky battle. But the moral of the story is, to me, Moto, the best rewards in Eternal Evolution are still in PvE, not PvP. So the fact that she hits like an absolute truck in PvE is the more important part to me. But I you know, I have her at EX30. I'm rocking her in some Marauder and Hero gear. If you didn't see my gear guide, this actually does a little better than the Crit Strike. So Moto I like because she does it very, very hard in PvE. She's a huge asset. Batu, jury is still out for me a little bit just because I don't really have him yet. I'm probably going to get at least one copy of him tonight and do some testing with him a little bit more. So if you want to stick around, we'll get to that eventually. But in general, he's just the way Eternal Evolution seems to be working right now, he's probably really good, right? Not only does he work for the Public Security Section 9, but he's also going to work as a Vanguard, which really, I feel like the Time Travelers here are the first ones that are going to have a chance to operate completely on their own in a legitimate fashion outside of like a specific dungeon where it's only Time Travelers. Just because, where is it? There's something where they get like 5% per Time Traveler or something. Here we go. In PvP, they're going to get bonuses per Section 9. So, I don't know. Maybe that's why she's so squishy now, because she's supposed to have 20% more with the other heroes coming. I don't know. Batu, jury's still out. I think he's going to be pretty solid, because he does live. I really wish that tonight in the Contosion Triangle, the Thunder Cliff would have been up so we could do a little bit of testing, because I am going to get one copy of him from the collab shop here. I'm just shy of getting 2 copies. But we'll see. We'll see what he can do. Marduk. Batu is the one I really want to be good. Leo is ready to retire. I am not anywhere near ready to retire Leo. He is still just entirely too good for me. But that's also because I didn't really go into Womagon or Barog. And I also haven't gone into Ares because, like, I put money into this game for sure, but I still have to kind of pick and choose. And for me, the Vanguards are one that I kind of decided I wasn't going to focus on, just because obviously unless you're throwing a ton of money in this game, you just can't have every hero all the way up. So for me, Leo is way too vital because the rest of my Vanguards aren't that strong. But if you're rocking a great Barog and you're ready for, and you have a great Ares and you're ready for Batu to take over, I don't know. Leo's just so versatile just because of that get out of death free spin and all the healing. If you are ready to retire Leo, then you either have really strong Vanguards or you're just straight up bored with the Giant Lion. So, cool. Hey, Marduk, thank you very much. If you have anything else, throw it out. I'm going to bounce to the next one, though. OCFB Mobile. Do you know if there's a gear guide for LOTR Home that shows where all the gear is located? I don't know off the top of my head. Let's pull up here real quick. If there was a spot, and I'm pulling it up here. There is a website that has like the speed and everything. I linked it. Yeah, here we go. I'm pulling it up. All right, so this LOTR GG is really, really helpful as far as all the heroes, and they have the spreadsheet for speeds. That's really helpful for the Raid Chapter 3. So I just have the link that goes to it. I'm not entirely sure I feel like if it were gonna be somewhere, item spotlight. Let's try that. All right, so here's Shadow Crystal's farming nodes. Let's see if we can find gear for OCFB Mobile. Items, gear. Okay. So, looks like we're closer. I'm not quite sure we're there yet. Oh my god, the spreadsheet. Craft Cosmic says, oh my god, the spreadsheet helps so much with Chapter 3. And yeah, I cannot say that enough that you are right. So here, I mean, it should say, right? It says what makes it. I'm a little surprised that this isn't... I mean, it's not that it's not helpful. I'm just a bit surprised it doesn't tell you where it comes from, right? Am I missing something? Does somebody else see it here? Am I... What if you do light campaign? Okay. Here you go. This might be the best option. You just have to do some scrolling. But here's your light campaign, and it shows you every single one. Normal chapters and hard chapters, and you can just kind of scroll through here and find what you need. Maybe not the fastest, but at least it's better than trying to figure it out on your phone, because the game doesn't react quite as quickly. So OCFB Mobile, maybe try that. LOTR.gg is a very, very good resource for multiple aspects of this game. And I'm not getting paid to say that, unless they want to pay me. That'd be pretty cool. But this is just a website that I found to be pretty helpful. Cool. Rock and roll. Let's get that out of there. All right, how we doing? Answered to some stuff. Cool. No other questions right now? Then we will just go ahead and fire away. I think... Oh, what do we got? Energy here in Lord of the Rings? Hooray. All right, we'll let that simmer for a bit. Let's go ahead, and the first thing I want to do, just because this isn't in question, I got to do a little bit of math as far as pulling limited cards in advance for the Hero Rally. But what's not in question here is I should have enough cards now to get another Caraxia copy. I just went and spent in the Hell Arena shop. I bought, what, 20-something, 26 of these cards, since I already had enough to get my 2 Halentus copies, so I think that was a pretty good use. And Caraxia needs some work. I only have 1 copy, so let's go ahead and pull. We just need 9 more shards. 9 more shards to get a Caraxia. Zeta. What's going on? Nothing wrong with that. Getting a Zeta out of there. Got some mythic runes. Real nice. Couple of mythic runes and gene shards. Not cool to not get Caraxia, though. So hopefully this one's better. There we go. 2 Caraxia. Oh, man. If I'm shy, I am going to be pretty bummed. Got 3 of the Universal Crystal Shards, though. Nothing wrong with that. Come on. 2 more. God, I'm going to be short. Don't do this to me. This game looks confusing but pretty cool. Craft Cosmic, if you're if you're new to Eternal Evolution, it's one I've been playing since launch and creating content on. Ooh, Pandemonium, nice. It's very cool. It's trying to figure what you could compare it to, but I'm not entirely sure you can. The nice thing I really like about it is there's no energy, so you can play essentially as long as you can and can progress through like the story mode. So it's got some interesting. Give me 2 more. Oh my, you got to be kidding me. That hurts my feelings. If you think I'm not pulling these 3 randos, you're crazy. Oh! It just wanted me to pull 1 more. I'm not even playing that pull hurt me. Alright, they just wanted me to do 1 more. I just wanted to see how dedicated I was. Let's see if he has the guts to pull 1 single card. There we go. Quick evolve. Bummer I didn't get enough for another Pandemonium. But hey, a Panda... I mean, what? Pulled 30 cards, got a Pandemonium, a Zeta, And, what, do I have to, oh, I have to combine her shards, I forgot. Where are you at, girl? It is a girl, right? I think it is. Yeah, Craft Cosmic, if you're interested in it, I highly recommend Eternal Evolution. I'm just as interested in it as I was day one. They have a pretty good cadence to introducing new content. We were a little bit bummed out with how the collaboration event that they just launched with Ghost in the Shell went down. Wasn't quite as exciting as we were hoping for, but whatever. All right. Boom. New Caraxia. Caraxia might have just sold me on the game. She looks awesome. Yeah, so for those of you that aren't familiar, you have like elite heroes. Let's see. Rarity. Yeah, so you have elite heroes, which are like beginners that can function in some stuff, but they kind of phase out. And then you have the triple S's, which you kind of pull for, and they're a little bit more feasible, but you got to still kind of pick and choose because you have limited resources. And then you have the one SP class hero in the game, that is the Uber, like a galactic legend in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, or like a legendary in, ooh, activate the Moon Whisper. Yes, please. Yeah. I lost my train of thought because I kind of Thank you for EX10. I will make you more powerful. Thank you. What do we get now? If this skill inflicts crit damage, stuns the target for 2 seconds. So very PvP lovely there. So you got to make sure crit's going to go through the roof. Looks like I have her in Marauder and crit. So what's her crit rate right now? 70%. We might have to bump that a little bit. What's that? 2 copies of her for EX10? Yeah, because she is so incredibly hard to get. You only need 2 copies because you can't evolve her. You can only evolve her using copies of her. You can't use those fodder heroes to evolve the way you do a triple S or anybody else. It's only Caraxia copies. Because as you can see here, I just evolved her once. But to evolve her again, I'm hiding it. It has to be another hero. So, like, the only way to get Caraxia is hire a Caraxia. So they've changed how you get the exclusive levels for her. I do mean incredibly expensive, what'd I say? I don't know. She is, yeah, I mean, she takes either a ton of resources as free-to-play or a ton of cash to unlock in a reasonable amount of time. And that's just, you know, the way it is. It's the same thing as any massive hero in, like, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Galactic Legends either take a long time or you put money into the game. Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth is going to be no different. But I am super pumped about that. I mean, what, in 40 pulls, I got a Pandemonium, a Zaida, and I finally got enough to get another Caraxia. Not to mention, I was getting, what, the Universal Crystal Shards, some Gene Hybrid Shards. These were probably in there. I don't care about those much anymore, but not too shabby. Very, very happy with that. All right, catching up with chat. Yeah, this game, if you're not familiar with it, I do really, really like it. And this game is hands down the best with communication I've ever seen. As far as like, hey, they had a guild versus guild for a little bit. As you can see here, it's locked right now. They had a guild versus guild, and basically, like, it wasn't that great. And they came out and said, hey, guys, we're really sorry. We're going to shut down the game mode, and we're going to go back from scratch because we're not happy with it, which I actually really respect. They weren't just, like, throwing it out there and letting it go and letting people be unhappy with it. They are very good at communicating. They are very good at apologizing. So it's really nice to have some developers like that. The only thing really kind of negative I could say about it is Nord here is still behind a paywall. If you didn't get him on the initial pulls within the game, then you just don't have him without paying for him. And you got a crash there, but in general the game is very reliable too. Fewer crashes than a lot of other ones. Let's see. Ruckus, you spoke briefly about your guild in LOTR. What's your opinion on having a good guild and how important is it when it comes to game progression? All right, let's bounce out of here. Let's pull up Lord of the Rings home. Okay, so we got Lord of the Rings here. Guild is pretty massively important right now. Words are failing me tonight. Just because the raids are wildly important. So right now, one of the two stopping points for people are cash money, this gold up here, and hero experience is also kind of a stopping point for people, which is very different than, you know, like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, made by the same developer. That's why I keep referencing it if you're unfamiliar. Gold was not an issue. There are a bunch of other things that were issues, but so far, Lord of the Rings has limited a bunch of other resources and kind of collapsed them into the gold category, almost like Raid Shadow Legends, where it's like gold or nothing, essentially, which is kind of nice because then you're not tracking like 15 different kinds of currency, but at the same time, like, I have 179,000 gold. Just upgrading this one ability is 76,000, which is why, I mean, this one's 109,000. So if I upgraded both of those, I would be completely broke. Leveling up a hero, 59 to 60 is 30,000. I mean, this game is, and okay, so throwing on one piece of gear at gear tier 8 is 78,000. It's just a very gold intensive, expensive game for that. So if you have a good guild, when you're getting in here into the raid rewards, which hopefully I can still pull up here, once you're getting these chests, you are going to get like 300,000 gold, which is really, really nice. And then, of course, once you get, we just started getting Gandalf shards, this last one. So you're unlocking towards a legendary hero. So while I think you can still function just fine without a massive guild, it's obviously going to give you some pretty good benefits. Just because, I mean, like, we have a Discord running for VetAaron Gaming right now, and I absolutely love it. Like, it's so much nonsense and so much trash talking between members. It's a nice release that you can just kind of talk some crap to each other. But at the same time, we're all very supportive. We're talking about strategies. Those that are a little bit more experienced are trying to help out members that aren't as experienced. And it's nice to have, like, a community that gels. Like, I'm very fortunate in both Lord of the Rings and Eternal Evolution. I'm in really good, strong guilds that really, it's not even so much resources in the game that you're getting by being in a strong guild, but just the connection and the will to keep staying in the game and increasing how much you care and how much you're working towards it. Like Black Rose here, absolutely love everybody at Black Rose. Really supportive, really helpful, doing great work. And that's why, you know, our guild hunt here, we're smoking the whole thing. We're downing 18. Pretty sure it's 18. We're downing 18 every time now. So absolutely loving it. Guilds are really important. Not only for the resources you're getting in the game, but also just to stay interested in the game, because none of these games are without a grind, right? There's always going to be a grind in the game that you're going to get bogged down. And if you have a community with you, I think it's just so much easier to fight through that grind, because Lord of the Rings, I'll be completely honest, has a lot of challenges. Raid Chapter 1 was a nightmare when it released. Up until this last update, it was so RNG based. If you weren't with a strong community and you gave up, I don't blame you at all. There's a bunch of glitches, a bunch of bugs. My poor goblins. Give my poor goblins some synergy, for the love of God. They need it. They're ready. I leveled them because I thought they were cool, and they get no synergy. It's killing me. Help me, CG. Give the goblins some synergy. All right, that was my rant. Ruckus got me on a soapbox. Craft Cosmic. If I got the space on my phone, I'll try to get it between LOTR Home and SFGOH. My phone is fighting for space. We've all been there. You got to balance some games. Eternal Evolution. I know that Ruckus and Adam in the chat, they also play both. So if you guys want to throw in your opinions for him to check there too. They're very different. Like Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth is very planning based, right? Like you're going to pick a team. You're going to pick your characters. and then you want to funnel all of your resources into just that. And you can do that. Like they're going to bring out new heroes and they're going to be shiny, but you need to stay focused and go on those heroes. Whereas Eternal Evolution, right, you're drawing using these cards. So sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. It's very like, okay, I got one in 30 pulls this time. Oh, I got 2 in 90 pulls. Like, is that better? Like, I don't know. It's much more random. You can pull for a certain hero like Ares here, but 0 to 60 to get 1, I don't have a guarantee of getting more than that. So while you can kind of aim for what heroes you want, it's not nearly the planning and the specific shard farming that SWGOH or LOTR home are. Different kind of game, still very entertaining. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Eternal Evolution is super free to play friendly. Other than Nord, which I mentioned, you can do a ton of work in this game completely free to play. And I try to focus a lot of guides there. So if you do want to get into the game, check some of those for like which elite heroes will get you the farthest down the road. Whew. We are cruising tonight. Thank you guys for all the questions, comments, concerns, whatever you got. If somebody is new, just jumped into the chat or whatever, if you got anything, feel free to throw it out at any part. I don't really have a plan here. I'm just going off what you guys give me for the most part, other than drawing some Eternal Evolution cards. So throw out whatever you got and we'll talk about it. Craft Cosmic, communicative devs are my favorite of any game. Shows they listen and care. Prime examples are Payday and Deep Rock devs. I'm not familiar with them, but yeah, I would say that Eternal, like most of my experiences with SWGOH with Capital Games, and their communication, as you've seen now in Lord of the Rings, isn't any better. They're clearly, it's not a focus for them. Eternal Evolution does a pretty good job, and the one thing I really like about Eternal Evolution is, so like I'm a partnered content creator, and we have a chat with a liaison from the developers, so we are getting direct communication, and we can communicate directly with them back, which is really nice because then the community has several members that can be a voice for them and vice versa. And we've straight up told them, like, we don't like this. We don't like this. We love this. Do more of this. And, you know, ultimately they're going to make the decisions at the end of the day because it's their business. We need to remember that. This is a business for them. But in general, the fact that we have an open line of communication that I can say, hey, developers, and get directly to them is wild compared to some of the other developers and stuff out there. All right, what else we got? Oh, I gotta stretch. Each time we finish a raid, I get angry at the gold because a homie needs more. Yeah, he's talking about, if you guys don't know, he's talking about Lord of the Rings, Heroes of Middle-earth. The gold is such a problem. Like, I just, you know, you get the 300,000 and you spend it instantly. Like, Grimpa here, Grimpa needs 500,000 to get up to 7 stars. Aomer, I got people ready to promote left and right. Another one there, but I just can't because I already know that I need to save up. I just dropped 500K on Frodo to get him max. Mary's going to be done in like, what, 2 weeks maybe, depending on my luck. I just got Ironhide to 6. Please don't make fun of me. I know that's ridiculous. He should have been 7-starred a long time ago. But I just got him to 6 stars today, so there was 250,000. And then, like, I can't even get one team going. Like, Pippin has 3 abilities to level. Strider has 4 abilities to level right now. Frodo, every single ability. Mary has several. So it's very frustrating to just... I love it. In our Discord for our guild, I don't know if you guys remember, we're playing at the time, but they came out with a calendar and it was just gold. It said like raid gold rewards or something like that, but it was just gold every single day and like significant amounts, like 50,000. And somebody in our chat said, they say, oh, CG, tell me you didn't put enough gold in the game without telling me you didn't put enough gold in the game. It was just millions in free gold just to get us going because everybody was so bogged down by it. I thought that was hysterical. But yeah, you'll get gold and then you'll spend it instantly and there will be a bunch of other things to spend it on, which is why like staying focused is so key. I got like all my secondary teams kind of up to that level of 50, between 40 and 50 mark. and they're just going to sit there until I get Road to Rivendell up to 60. And then once I get them up to 60, then I'll start bumping them up too. Turk's last comment there, 1.7 million, I have no XP. Yeah, I mean, it just depends on, like, okay, if you're going to bump all your heroes up to level 60, okay, then you might have the gold, but then you're not going to have the XP. So there's definitely a bog down. Just try to stay as focused as possible. And, you know, eventually, maybe someday, I don't know, maybe gold won't be that big of a concern. For right now, it definitely is. All right, where were we? Subatan, did you find out the unlock requirements for Elrond? So, unless they change them, I did. I looked them up. Where we got here? So, you'll need, I don't know if you guys can see this, so I'll read it. This is from the Lord of the Rings website. But basically it's saying you need 5 of the 6 following elf characters. Elrohir, Lomian, Leliel, Naramiri, I was crushing it there for a minute. Naramiri, Arwen, Eladin. And then to get him unlocked, basically, you need tier 7 undone. To get him 6 and 7 stars, because I think, well, I don't know, maybe you can unlock him at 6 stars. Does anybody remember? I want to say you have to unlock him at 7 stars, which means you need 7-star elves. But maybe he unlocks a little bit. He unlocks at 310. So maybe he actually does unlock at like 6. But you're going to need elves. Oh, you only need 180 to unlock him? Okay, so there we go. Cage and Adam are saying 5 stars. This actually doesn't say. It just says, oh, here we go. I can't read. 5-star Lord Elrond to increase your squad. So, if you want Lord Elrond, get farming on your elves. I've been kind of working on elves just because of him, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. Legolas is now purchasable. Lomian and Liliel, though, I don't know if they're going to make it. Naramiri and Elrohir are there already. I don't know if I'm going to make it, though. I don't know. But yeah, if you want that for any kind of reference, that is actually on the official website. I did find it. This is from a post from when he was first announced. So it may be buried a bit back in the website, but it is still up, as you can see, because I found it. And if I can find it, anyone can find it. Oh, so there you go, Subatan. Ruckus, EE as far, yeah, EE, agree. I think I saw that earlier and made a mention about it. It is very easy to play, free to play. Turk, Eternal Evolution. If you're interested, highly recommend it. I have a bunch of videos on it, like a bunch of videos on it. And it is really, really fun. Highly enjoy it. For those of you that don't know, I'll just show you like a story challenge instance real quick. You basically have different team setups using different classes. So you have tanks, vanguards, assassins, hunters, support, energy, and summons. And unlike most games, you don't run like one tank, one assassin, one hunter, one support. You run teams of those together, of those classes together. Like this is my assassin team, 4 assassins and 1 healer, because you have these commanders that give buffs to a specific class. Right there, it's kind of behind my head. So you kind of mostly run teams of them, and then you have these prototypes too, which I just need to get out of the way apparently. These prototypes here, you have like an offensive, defensive, and a support kind of prototype, and they also like only Vanguard and Assassin. This is only Assassin, so that's why it kind of helps to run teams of the same kind. But we'll go ahead. I'll just throw in like summoners real quick. And then you can see they just, it's all, you can manual some part of it. Like you can throw up their ultimates, but in general, they just attack. So it's also a really good game to just kind of have run in the background, because I would say 85% of this game is run just on auto, which is pretty cool. But I'm getting pretty smashed here. Daniel finally gets his ultimate, which is an AoE stun and damage dealing ability, which is real nice. So I don't know if they're going to end up winning this. Let's see. Ruckus, not to mention the XP Nightmare. Yeah, Lord of the Rings just has an economy issue right now in general, in my opinion. Hopefully it gets better, but we're struggling. I couldn't be more thankful for the Veteran Guild as a whole for LOTR Home. You guys have been so supportive, helpful to me. I just love it. Can't wait to see how we grow. Agreed, Craft. It's been kind of, I don't know, like beyond our wildest dreams. Sounds ridiculous, but when, like, I knew I was gonna play this game, and Turk, yes, this is a mobile game. It is a completely free-to-play mobile game. When I knew I was gonna play the Lord of the Rings, and I told my brother about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll get in on it with you." And when it started up, he was like, "I'll start a guild in your name." And with the other guild officers we've run into and everything, it's been way, way, way over my expectations. Like, we've kind of already built a community, which is great. Even if most of it is just Turk and Lupo flirting / fighting, but we don't ask questions. And then what, we have a whole channel for dog pictures now, which is only not fair because I just lost my dog recently. Other than that, I'd be all about it. But now I have to look at your guys' cute dogs. All right, what else we got? I'm ranting again. Turk, can I get a loan? Yeah, Turk, if you're throwing out cash, I don't know what your rates are, but I would be interesting. Turk says bottleneck changes depending on where you are at the game. It seems like, yeah, it's like money, and then for a minute it was XP. Now I'm right back to money just because of all the abilities. So it does bounce around, which, you want the economy to be balanced, right? Like, it doesn't make sense if I just had all the resources thrown into every single team. No game wants that. At the end of the day, it's a business, and I understand that. My real complaint, and maybe it's just because this game is brand new and starting out, and, like, I need every hero. But, like, in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, which I played for years and years and years, you focus on your one team, and you could really get that team, like, almost up to relic level if you're a hoarder like I am. And then, like, you get that team set, and then you go to the next one. You could almost get that one to relic level. Like, this one is just, like, I can't get my main team. Like, I'm max level. I've been playing since the day it launched. And granted, I am completely free to play on this game. Like, I can't get my main team all the way up. Like, and I'm obviously hoarding resources. Like, you can see all these pluses everywhere. Like, I'm hoarding resources, and I still can't get my main team to level 60. It just seems like they're being a little bit too stingy. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, 5 stars. Yep, this is everybody correcting me because I was silly about Elrond. Good. Yeah, Turk, I lacked focus when I started leveling everyone. Yeah, and that's kind of... My brother, I think, at this point, freely admits that he did that too. And really, I think my best advice would be, like, you're going to have your one arena team, which is going to be higher. Like, that's my Road to Rivendell crew with Ugluk. And it's not the best. And frankly, I can't stand arena. I hate arena. I hate it in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I hate it in Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth. That's actually another reason I really enjoyed Eternal Evolution, because there is an arena. They have like 4 arena modes that bounce in and out. They have a 5v5, but then they also have 3v3, or sorry, 3 teams of 5 right there. 3 teams of 5. So, like, but it just gets so repetitive. It's just the same heroes over and over, because, the meta is what the meta is, and it drives me crazy. I actually made a video on Watcher of Realms, which is another game I'm kind of dabbling in, and I love the arena mode in that game because it changes. There's different modes. Sometimes it's AoE DPS heroes that are best in arena. Sometimes it's single target. Sometimes it's melee, and I love the fact that the arena bounces around, because pretty much in every single arena in any mobile game I played, it just gets, yep, like, that's the meta team. Like, okay, I don't have that one, so I'll get to this level. And then, bleh. But again, the nice thing about Eternal Evolution is the arena, the rewards are just not as important. PvE rewards are much more important in Eternal Evolution than PvP, which I love. Because in Heroes of Middle-earth, And like it was in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for many years, your arena gave you your gems, your crystals or whatever, which are uber important, probably the most important resource in the game. So the fact that there was so much emphasis put on arena, I hated it. There you go. There's my arena rant. You didn't ask for it, but you got it. Let's see. Where were we? How's the sound, by the way? I feel like this is pretty normal for my videos, but if I'm a little loud, just let me know. Quick answer. Who's your brother? Turk OM Bloomy or Adam here in the chat is my brother. He's the guild leader. He's the one that does the stats for us every week, which, by the way, if you guys are watching from a different game, get you some dummy that will pour his life and soul into this game and make you like a whole spreadsheet that gives everybody's damage per the raid, the percentage of their increase or decrease. Get you some sucker, some absolute crazy person that will make something like this, because it does really, really help you focus and improve. So I've never said this before, but everybody needs an OM Bloomy. All right, what do we got? Ugh. Lupo shared with me our former guild was down to 4 members. We bailed at the right time, found a great home with you all. Yeah, we all are really glad that Lupo's here. Just Lupo, though. OCFB Mobile, do you have any heroes you wish you didn't put resources in? I'm assuming that's an Eternal Evolution question, because I think that's what Mobile asked about earlier. Scrolling through chat. Oh, no, it was LOTR home. Okay, so let's go here. Any heroes I put resources into that I didn't want to? The game's still so new at this point, I don't know. I will say, looking back, I think the goblins still have a great future, but I'm kind of wondering if my goblin resources would have been a little bit better used into a different team right now. Rohan, maybe. Oh, Mordor for sure. I would happily trade my goblin crew for Mordor. Mordor is the one I wish I would have gone with earlier. Dwarves I think are going to be really strong here very soon. My brother has said that Gondor is doing some good work already, so do I regret going goblins? I like them, so even though they're not that strong in the game, I enjoy playing them, and I think once they're leveled, they actually will be really strong. But if I would start over, a free-to-play account tomorrow, Mordor, and I made a video on this too, Mordor would absolutely be my immediate go-to. Just because they're obtainable in a full 5 pretty early, and through different areas like Ironhide's guild. Shagrat is what, arena? I think he's some kind of shards. And then the rest of them are pretty low on nodes, if I remember correctly. So I would definitely go Mordor first, and then probably Road to Rivendell second, just because you're getting Strider shards. Pippin's really strong. You start with Frodo, and you need to max out your money challenge here, treasure trove. So you need a light side team. So I would have definitely gone Mordor with Ironhide first, with some Road to Rivendell crew in also, just to max this out. So if I were going to do it again tomorrow, that's how I would do it. Meow, meow, meow. All right, let's see. Where were we? Turk, I'm a teacher. Not much to hand out. Yeah, Turk's broke. Same arena is the worst in LOTR, but I like it in EE. Yeah, and I don't know if you'll agree, Adam. Like, EE's arena is better because there are a few more teams. And again, Lord of the Rings is a brand new game. There's going to be more coming out. Whereas Eternal Evolution is, what, almost a year? When did that game come out? October, November? Almost a year old. So they have a bit more options. But I love the fact that, like, if Eternal Evolution, if I'm just trying to max out my dailies real quick, I can just throw in arena teams and not care. because it's not such a vital source of resources that I'm like, oh, I gotta focus on it. You're getting some diamonds just for doing your attempts, but other than that, like it's just not nearly the consequences as Lord of the Rings, which is giving you like the most important resource in the game, the gems. So it's just emphasis on different areas. I actually loved when Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes took the gems out of their daily arena, the crystals out of their daily arena, and moved it to Grand Arena. I was a big fan of that, actually. Boop, boop, boop. OCFB Mobile multi-squad PvP is coming, so hopefully that is more fun in LOTR. Yeah, there's no way they're not going to move towards something like Grand Arena, in my opinion, because Grand Arena is like the gold standard of PvP. From Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I think pretty much everybody is trying to mimic that in some capacity. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was almost identical, which is going to be that multi-squad where you're setting up like defense and offense. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. Let's see. I'm kicking out of this guild. I think he said he's going to kick me out of this guild. Let's see. That's awesome. His stats are so awesome. He pumps them out. Yeah, okay. That's enough positive about Adam. Let's move on from that, please. Would you rather have less teams built out? Okay, real quickly, Adam answered my EE a year in November. Yeah, I thought it was October or November. So EE is almost a year old. Mortar is my biggest team. Monty says, what up, Aaron? What's up, man? Thanks for coming. If you got anything, feel free to throw it out. Questions, comments, concerns, shoe size. I don't care at this point. We're just here talking. We're literally talking about anything that comes up between multiple games. So I'm here for you guys. Let's see. Would I rather have less teams built out? I actually, I think my brother would for sure say yes to that. But I'm pretty set here on like 4 teams and trash. So my road to Rivendell here is my number 1. I almost have them full 7 stars, and I am completely free to play for those that don't know. This is just blood, sweat, and tears. Mostly tears. And so once we get Mary up there, I'm going to get them all to 60, and I'm probably going to try to get them to gear tier 8 and then leave them alone. My secondary team is Isengard. They are all cruising up there. Ugluk is maxed, but everybody else is 6 stars going towards 7, so they're in pretty good shape. 50 and what, gear like 6, 7 across the board? 7, 7, 6, 6, 6. Oh, Ugluk, buddy. Why are you gear tier 6? We'll fix that out. We'll fix that. I'm sorry, buddy. That's embarrassing. Nobody. I feel like you just made you look at Ugluk naked. Nobody look. That was embarrassing. And then my third team, which I would probably switch out, is Goblins. And they're kind of in the same boat. Orphas is almost ready to go to 5 stars. Grandpa's ready to go 7. Great Goblin, obviously you can't farm. So that's kind of... I wish... That's the other reason the Goblins I wish I would have not gone with quite as early. Because you cannot farm the full 5 members. Great Goblin is only gems, which is a bummer. I'm sure he'll come to a node at some point eventually. My fourth team, I went with elves. That's 1 elf. Cool. I hate the filtering in this game. Yeah, the other one I'm going with elves. They're a work in progress, obviously. Really trying to get them up and running, especially with Elrond going to come back at some point. But they're a work in progress. And then the only real other one I have any kind of work into is like Ironhide plus Rohan. And, you know, and Rohan, you get like some starters in the game like Eowyn and Eothane. And Eowyn is pretty easy to get up early. So that's why I got them to 33 and then I started plugging into other teams and just kind of left them. So I haven't touched them in a long time. Other than that, like I got level 1s, level 2s. You know, I'm not really doing anything with anybody because I want to stay focused on those teams. And that's kind of how a successful model for free-to-play is. You have to stay focused. No different than Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes if you play that. You have to stay focused on who you're building currently, especially because they're going to come out with new heroes like Balin. I would love to build dwarves. I think they are so cool. And I actually have a short in editing about the hero out of the whole Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, all that kind of stuff, the whole universe. The hero I'm most excited for is, spoiler alert, in the dwarf faction. So I'm very excited about building the dwarfs at some point, but it's just not feasible this early yet. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm too spread out, which I think was somewhere near the question. Would you rather have less teams built out? No, I think I'm in pretty good shape. And the teams I have built out because I'm staying focused like this, I'm pretty balanced, right? Like this most recent raid, when they fixed Chapter 1, I did 1.7 million. Chapter 2, I did 953,000, so just shy of $1 million. And then Chapter 3, I got 1,045,000. So I feel like I'm pretty balanced. The teams I have are working for me because, frankly, hitting almost $1 million in each chapter, I'm pretty happy with. So I don't want to spread out anymore, but I also feel like you need to have resources in that many teams, probably. You essentially need to build 5 teams. So if you're building more than 5 teams, you're kind of messing up. But you need your 5 raid teams. Adam. Oh, God. It's like you're reading my mind. Yeah, focus on 5 teams. I went way too many teams early on. Yep. Yeah, 5 teams. Focus on 5 teams. If you're building more than 5, you're spreading your resources too thin. Turk says he's working on Haradrim, 3rd team. They have great synergy. Yeah, I would agree. I think Haradrim is going to be very solid. My only question is, I'm not real familiar with them, is where and how do you get them? Because for a really great team to build early, the energy has to spread out. So that's a hard node in light campaign, but very early. Yeah, see, this is the problem. The Sage is crystals only, gems only. What are they in this game? I keep getting it confused. The fact that one's gems only is a problem. Let's see. You're arena, so that's cool. You want to have, oh no, that's guild something, right? Not arena. Guild something, but that's perfect. Using those other kind of currencies to build one are perfect. Yeah, again, she's gems only. That's like the only downside, and that's Shadow. So you have no guild campaign energy that you're using to build that, using gems on 2 of them. So they're going to be a very good team down the road, but I could not recommend building them early just because you're really going to struggle to get them up in stars, which is a main boost to their power. What hard farms do you do every day? I do the teams I'm focusing on. So obviously I don't do Frodo anymore, but I was doing Frodo's. So Mary, Azak, Morza, Mar, Durar. Ironhide is currently my guild. Let's see. Goldburrs is, I believe, like arena or something. So arena. So I'm not farming him. And then Chef, Orfurs, Lomion, Liliel, and that's it. Those are the ones I'm doing every day. So how many is that total? I got Frodo like, 2-3 days ago. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm doing 9 regular energy hard nodes a day. And then everything else, like I'm still buying my gem refreshes. So it's, and that I do that up to 100 gems every day. So let's see. I actually have energy right now, so this isn't going to be a good indicator, but I'm pretty sure I've already done mine today to get up to the 100 refresh. So do all your 50 gem refreshes every day on your hard nodes. Everything else, energy-wise, you got goes into gear. Like at this point, my energy is going into farming stuff for Frodo's gear because he actually has the ability to hit pretty hard, but he is very squishy. They love to kill him almost immediately. So all my extra energy here is going into gear for Frodo currently. So there you go. That's, and, you know, 9 or 10. Again, you're focusing on your team. So if you're doing 9 or 10, I think you're in pretty good shape here. Let's see. What teams are you focusing on for EE? Let's bounce over to Eternal Evolution. What teams am I focusing on? One of the ones I'm working on right now, and partly because of the collab event, is the Assassins. Because I want them to do more. Like, I don't know why, but this team, I just feel like doesn't hit as hard as they should. Why do you have a... Oh, because I didn't put talents in, duh. That's very upsetting. I feel like the amount of resources I put into my Assassins team, they just don't do as well as they should. So I've been trying to put some good work into the Assassins. Vanguards, I'm essentially completely ignoring. I already know during the next recruitment event, we're getting the support hero from Ghost in the Shell and the tank hero from Ghost in the Shell. And I'm definitely putting into the tank hero. My tanks are another one, like, I put some decent resources into, but I haven't, like, my Pandemonium's pretty good, Zaida's okay, Womagon needs another one, obviously, Teresh needs another one, but if I can get another tank in there and run the 4 tanks, or even 5, just because tanks have a pretty good ability to heal themselves, then I will be sitting much prettier, whereas my support, like, I don't know, my res is up there. Miranda, Fiona, Masrani, obviously. Like, you just don't use that many of them. Like, when I do my 3v3 arena, I'll even show you, like, my Hell arena. What do I use? Like, 1 or 2 of them? What's my defense? Yeah, so my summoners they use Sorvali. Everything rhymes in the summoners, I swear, other than Daniel. So they don't even use one. Fiona's with my Assassins, and then, like, my tanks, I don't use a healer. I throw Nord in that slot. So, the support, yeah, if you get in my 4th team, I run a Miranda. But, like, Masrani was such a carry. He was my MVP for so long, especially in Twilight Lands, and I still use him a lot in Twilight Lands, but, like, that's the only area, so I don't know. I'm sure the other support's going to be good, but I would rather have that tank at this point, just because tanks especially can really carry and heal themselves without another support. So when it came down to this collaboration, I definitely wanted Moto. As soon as I pulled a Moto, I threw in all my gene hybrids. Batu, yeah, okay. I've kind of given up on Vanguards. I'm sure he's going to be good, and it's going to be the same one on the next one. When they bring out the support and the tank, I'm going to do everything I can for the tank and kind of ignore the support. So that's what I'm working on for Eternal Evolution. But I've also kind of talked about, like, how PvP isn't quite as important, especially for my account, because this account is like testing, essentially. I try to pull heroes and test them, which if you want PvP, you got to get, like, your 3 teams and then max those heroes, which wouldn't help. Like, I make videos so that people know how good a hero can be and if they're worth it in the game or not. So I'm spread way too thin in Eternal Evolution, but that's because this account is built for testing heroes and helping the community. So it's not the way you would build a PvP account at all. So that's what I'm currently doing in Eternal Evolution, but I don't think I would recommend what my account is doing in Eternal Evolution to the regular player. Oh, man. Let's see. Where are we? Oh, you guys are talking up a storm. I love it. I love that I have to scroll up to see what we're talking about. All right, let's see. Agree that's a hard part. Isengard, my new shadow team I'm working on. Literally stopped for those reasons. Isengard, you can farm all to 7 stars right now. Yeah, it was like Road to Rivendell and then Isengard, and those were my 2 teams. And it's strictly because of how accessible they are. And they're both good teams, but it was mainly focused on how accessible they were. Maybe I should LOTR. Been looking for a new game. Been playing Super Snail myself. If you want them to do more, max out Dom. Yeah, Dom is crazy. Dom actually doesn't hit as hard in PvP or in PvE as Moto does now. But yeah, Dom is an absolute monster. I do have him exclusive 30 and all his talents built out. And actually, I just got him in the Immortal gear, which makes him definitely hit harder. So I'm pretty pumped about that. He's only the second hero I have in Immortal gear. It's Nord and then Dominic. So I understand how important Dominic is and what an absolute monster he can be. But yeah, I need those evolution levels, obviously. But that's expensive. That's a big commitment. And that's another thing I was kind of talking about. Like, my gene hybrids go to testing new heroes. So even though I know Dom is a complete monster, like, he just has to catch up at this point, just because all my resources go to new people. Let's see. For EE, Adam focuses assassin tank summoners. Yeah, I think that's pretty typical. I mean, those are like 90% of the PvP teams you find, and they also do exceptional work in PvE. Like, you can easily max out Twilight Lands, which is the most important game mode with those three teams. What's the biggest gear bottleneck for you? Thanks for answering all these questions. Absolutely mobile. Glad you're here. Happy to answer all of them. You're asking LOTR questions, so we'll bounce back here. The biggest gear bottleneck for me, because I'm trying to max a light side team, are the pieces I was actually just farming for Frodo here. Can pull them up. I guarantee like every piece in here needs them. These things, these luminous crystal 2s. These are the bane of my existence. And they have like if you're like focusing a shadow team first, they have an equivalent on the shadow team, which I could probably pull up real quick. Yeah, I think these shadow crystal 2s are the equivalent for dark side. So if you're like really focusing light side, it's those luminous crystals. If you're focusing dark side, I guarantee these things are the bane of your existence, these shadow crystal 2s. Those are the biggest gear bottleneck that I've found so far. Just because the main issue for me is, if I can pull it up here. Sorry for the ridiculous amount of clicking I'm doing. But so when you get to like these pieces, like these candles are 4-1, not hard node. These, let's just look at another one. Yeah, you're going to need a ton of these turquoise, right? Non-hard node. When you go to those luminous crystals, they are hard node only. They are exclusively hard node. Hard, which are like double the energy. You can, this, like, Shadow Campaign hard 3-6 is 12. But if it's Shadow Campaign 3-6, it's going to be 6. I guarantee it. 8 tops. So you only have 5 and the other ones you can run as many attempts as you want. Whereas these, you max out 5 attempts without using gems to refresh. So it's more expensive. You have a limited amount that you can even attack it. It's just, these things are, they're so slow. Look how many people they're needed by on my team right now. They're hard node, their energy, and everyone light side needs them. And I'm sure if you're really focused in shadow, like I said, those other crystals are going to be the problem too. Those, to me, I'm trying to remember, what was it in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? They had 2 pieces, and they finally fixed it. They added it to one of the daily challenges, so they could stop that bottleneck and then get the bottleneck closer to relics. But those were the bottleneck for forever, and that's what it is for me in Lord of the Rings right now. Hate those pieces. Boop, boop, boop. All right, here we go. What else we got? Or max out their gear. Yeah, Monty, like I said, I was pretty pumped to get that gear to Immortal, so that was huge. Turk says, what would you consider the second best light side team? Elves, and if so, which 5? Why is my nose so itchy? Anybody else's nose itchy? Is that just me? So because I've been talking nonstop. You guys are really getting me to rant tonight. This is good. Thank you. All right. Second best light side team. As it stands right now, that is farmable. Because we'll keep it to that. We'll keep to what is farmable without money. I think really the only competition here would be Rohan, right? You know what? This is smarter. Let's go back here and filter light side and kind of look at that for a minute. Light. So here we go. Yeah, and it also kind of depends, like, if you have Elrond. If you have Lord Elrond, if you threw some money into the game, elves are clearly going to be second best, especially if you have Arwen, because you're rocking, like, 2 legendaries at that point. Although I don't know if Arwen... No, she's not a legendary. She has a farming node now. Legolas probably counts as a legendary. So yeah, if you have a Lord Elrond, probably elves. But Rohan has some decent synergy too. Lightside's a little weaker right now, because I would say Isengard and Mordor are some of the strongest teams in the game right now. Goblins do good work in the raid. Like, they're doing great. Although what, does Gondor have a full 5 that's farmable now? I don't think so. I've heard good things about Gondor, but I don't think... Okay, so he's farmable. I don't think Boromir is. Yeah. So you're running into farming problems again. But the elves that I'm farming, because it's difficult to get up to Arwen's node, right? Why are you doing this to me, game? Because it's difficult to get up to Arwen's node, I've run Legolas, especially now that he's purchasable. Legolas, Lomion, Liliel, Naramiri, and Elrohir. Eladon and Arwen are probably better, but I just don't have... I'm just not really up to them. And I was more concerned... Yeah, like 5'9". I can beat it, but I can't max it. Well, I probably can now. I haven't done it in a while. But I was more concerned with getting the early farm in to get closer to Lord Elrond than I was about, like, the best characters within that one. So these are the 5 that I'm focusing on just for ease of farming. And they're all right. They do okay. I'll tell you what they do. Once you get them up there, they hit pretty hard. And Naramiri actually is a very good heal. So what they're great at is staggering the troll in Chapter 2 and then finishing him off. Because they do have and they're good at the troll in Chapter 2 because they have a ton of critical strikes. Just because they have a ton of attacks. Like this flurry of steel that Lomion has 5 times, and the attack has 5% crit per boon on self. That's only a 1 attack, but that's a 2-time attack, and you get crit chance on each of those. And crit chance removes those stacks of momentum from the cave troll. So these guys are actually really, really good at keeping momentum stacks down on the cave troll. And they hit pretty hard. Elrohir hits very, very hard and is a very easy and good farm inside of guild campaign. So I run with those 5 just for ease of farming. Eladin and Arwen are probably better heroes, but yeah, just a little high for me at this point. Hopefully that answers the question. I don't know if it did. I'm starting to black out here. You guys are crushing it with the questions. Back to Monsi. You know, Dylar speculated that the next Endless Battle will be a Time Traveler team, and the next SP will be Time Traveler. Thoughts on this? Dylar is I don't know. Like, he's probably the number 1 in Eternal Evolution right now. He puts a ton of energy into it. I highly, highly respect it. If anybody plays Eternal Evolution, you need to make sure you check out Dylar's Twilight Tactics. Really good dude. He's had me on for a couple collaborations that I really enjoy making, but super knowledgeable. And he, like, tracks the rhythm of the game and everything. So if he's projecting an SP Time Traveler, I would not argue. Him with him. And next Endless Battle will be a Time Traveler team. It wouldn't surprise me. As soon as they launch all 4 heroes, they're going to put events into the game for them. They'd be crazy not to. Because, right, at the end of the day, it's still a business. And although it is a very free-to-play friendly game, it's a business. They're going to want to launch events in the game that will give you resources based on your time traveler team, which is going to make people put... I'm so glad I'm covering the chat. I just saw what Lupo put. Oh, God, you distracted me. Yeah, they're gonna put events in the game that are time traveler specific, because then it's gonna make people put money into the game to get those rewards. So I think Dylar is an incredibly smart dude, and I'm not gonna argue with him on that at all. Adam says, for supports, I use Miranda with my energy team, Fiona assassins, and Rez with my tanks. Yeah, Rez for like Pandemonium pairing. I don't blame him. But yeah, if supports in the game are just kind of weird. They're not quite... I mean, and Masrani was the be-all, end-all for 6 months as far as supports. And then I think Miranda... They came out with a Boda, but nobody uses Boda. And then they came out with Miranda, which was necessary for certain game event modes. And she's actually very good. And then Fiona's obviously been kind of a game changer too. Like, I see more Fionas than I see Masranis or Mirandas at this point. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what the next time traveler support is, what they focus on. Oh, I agree with Adam. Those 3 are solid. Yep, Ruckus, that's... Yeah. More EE. What do we got here? Ares made me a Vanguard enjoyer. That dude is too good. Yeah, Ares is one of those, like, I really wish... Like, I know he's good. He can solo assassin teams. He wrecks assassin PvP teams. I really wish I had an Ares worth talking about, which actually was when this recruitment event came up for Ares. I was like, oh, thank God, I can get another copy or two of him. Because I'll show you, like, I guess I can't show you because I wish it would let you open these even though you can't attack them. But my Thunder Cliff's at like 3 or 4. Like, my Mirage Space is at 10. My Roulette of Truth is 10. My Thundercliff, and I think even my... Yeah, I haven't even beat this with my tanks. So... I'm pretty heavy in some areas, and Vanguard I'm so weak in. Although, to my own disclaimer, this Thundercliff event is jacked up. It's always been jacked up. I hate it. It's miserable. You got to have uber Vanguards to get to a level that like elite hunters would get to in their event. So I hate that event. I think it's kind of jacked up. But I'm nowhere near it just because my Vanguards are weak. I would love to have good Vanguards. I'm happy to put more into Vanguards. It's just like other decisions led me down like the Hunter trail and even kind of energy, which just didn't leave enough resources for the Vanguards. That and Crete, when Crete got completely power creeped out, that was a big time bummer. That would be like my other kind of thing that drives me a little bit crazy about Eternal Evolution. Like, the game is not a year old, and Crete has essentially been made worthless. And he was like the other one. Crete and Bailey, when the game launched, were like the heroes you needed to have. And within a year, Crete's already essentially worthless. And Bailey too, is such glass at this point. Like, one of my first guides I made suggested pulling cards when it wasn't going to get a Bailey, and some dude like reamed me. He was like, it's irresponsible that you made a guide talking about pulling cards and it wasn't to get to Bailey. Like, that's how important he was. Granted, that guy was wrong, but still, like, that's how important he was, and he's already essentially been completely crapped out. So I don't know. I hope that they do something in the future about not power creeping out, like making new heroes viable but not necessarily wildly more powerful. So we'll see how that goes. Whew. I love that shirt. Did they do it in a men's size? Everybody's funny. Actually, here's a hint for you, Luke. If you buy small shirts, it's actually like way easier than working out. So there you go. There's a tip for free. Luke, God. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't. It has to be Lupo, and there it is, Lupo. Lupo, make sure you watch us tomorrow because I made some comments about you earlier. They weren't positive, but 3 to 5. Yeah, I'm here now. Jesus, God, I was on a rant. I was on a soapbox. Do you have anything meaningful to add, Lupo, or are you just gonna be all Lupo-y about it? We might have to make that. What is that? An adjective? Adverb? Adjective? I don't know. My English is starting to suffer at this point in the evening, but we should start like don't be loop OE. Don't make that loop OE. We'll work on it. I'm not sure we're there, but we'll get there. All right, what are we gonna do? Let's draw some cards. You guys ran out of questions for me, so I'm gonna draw some cards in Eternal Evolution. We're gonna pull for Ares. Bow, bow, bow. All right, I get one at 60 guaranteed. Nada. Lupo, you made Aaron start drinking. Yeah, as soon as I saw him, I was like, well, time to move to the hard stuff. Only one Ares. Boo. Boo, boo, boo. Ugh. Would have definitely been happier with some more, because like I said, he is like soloing assassin teams. Make sure... Nope, not you. Get out of there. 80. Okay, we got to draw 20 more to get that. Oh, man, we got to draw way more. We got to draw 100 more. Because we absolutely cannot miss out on the gene hybrids. I'm not going to pull any more for Ares. I don't think... Yeah, we're going to go for the new time travelers some more. So let's go ahead and evolve this real quick. How much time and effort have you put into the new collections and relics? Adam asks. And I think he did that on purpose because the answer is not nearly enough. So let me evolve him real quick here and then we'll bounce over. Oh, good. I'll be able to at least get him to EX10. That should help. Pull 20. Well, it's not... You can pull any. It doesn't have to be his to get the giant tower. It can be anywhere in the event. So I will to get that, but it's not going to be in him. I'm going to pull for the collaboration event. Yeah, because this is any... the access chips will go for the collab event too. Right? It does, right? Collab won't count? Yeah, why is that not counting? Oh, that's not cool. It definitely works on both in the other one. Is it just because it's the collab event? That has definitely never been like that before. But they counted for the hero rally. Ugh. I was fully intending to do this, but I assumed... Let's just check real quick. All right. So that... No, I don't think I got access chips. You got to be kidding me. It's got to be for Ares, huh? Well, that's annoying. I don't think they've done that before. Yeah, they don't share progress. But, like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, in all the other ones prior to the collab, it was both that would get access cards, right? Somebody help me. Tell me I'm not crazy. Well, crazy about this one particular instance. Wow. I had trash luck on that. I better get, like, 3 more Batus. That was trash luck. Alright. So we'll pull this. God, why is my nose so itchy? Alright. Alright, so there's our Ares. We'll get him up here in a bit. Adam's question about the keys. I really have not put that much effort into them. My small trophies here, I have 2 large trophy ready to go, and I don't have any. I can put 2 in, and I don't have them. So, I don't know. I have a bunch equipped. I think I bought like 1 or 2 keys. So, I have some here, but the answer is not enough. Because some of them can be really good. Where are we looking here? Although, I did have enough for one of them, and I was like, that's trash. Where is it? The large one. Yeah, like this large one in Hell Arena. I had enough for before I bought the Astral cards, but like Stamina of Disa Caves, I don't care about that. That sucks. There was another one. It was like, yeah, like, I don't know. Soul River Hero XP drops. I don't love the large ones. At least these large ones. I don't know. I have not put enough into them is the answer. Oh yeah, drawing a Batu here too. I forgot about. I haven't put enough energy into them, but I don't love. I don't know. They're cool. I'm glad they're bringing that to the game. It's kind of nice because then that's something that's just Eternal Evolution at this point doesn't have a whole lot to like distinguish one account from another. Like there's pretty much the best way to build heroes with their gear. And that's pretty much it because they don't have any mod system. You can't increase certain aspects of their kit other than the standard gear. So like my Leo is not going to be that much different from anybody else's Leo. But the thing that can help you start to differentiate is if you have a bunch of like Vanguard bonuses in here that are kind of hidden. So I do really like that they have them. I don't, you know, they're not that accessible yet. And I don't know. I haven't put the focus and time and energy into figuring them all out yet, I guess is the moral of the story. Different cards, different event. Yeah, they don't share progress, sadly. Yeah, that's, yeah. I'm bummed by that. I didn't really want to pull 20 more for Ares, but, I mean, 20 more for a guaranteed copy is a no-brainer, so that's kind of a bummer. Didn't love that. But, hey. Do what you gotta do sometimes. Alright, let's go ahead and throw in Ares exclusive before we forget. And then hopefully Ares can help me knock out a little bit of Thundercliff next time. Between Ares and Batu, maybe my Vanguard will actually be able to do something. I'll do some testing when that opens up. When does that open up? Tomorrow? Friday. Yeah, that opens up tomorrow. If I get time, I'll try to make a video and see if Batu and Ares, even at low levels, can really help knock out that event. We'll see how strong Batu gets. Did I just get him to EX10 or am I shy on him? Yeah, I need one more. I wish I could guarantee a Batu pull. Because if I could get him to EX10 for a little bit more testing, that would be nice. I am going to pull advanced later to get to the 500 mark for... Where is it? I passed it. Oh, did they change it? No, here it is. Yeah. I'll get that one to finally max out Daniel. Because I'm one shy Daniel to make him absolutely maxed out. So we'll finish Daniel. The OG of damage in this game, who's also almost kind of been power crept out, but he's still an OG. So there we go. All right, what else you guys got? Oh, God. I wish my nose would stop itching. I'm allergic to Lupo. I don't own a cat, and I'm not allergic to cats, but I gotta assume this is what it feels like to be allergic to cats. So we did get Batu a little bit higher. Let's see what he can do in Calamity real quick. He's in the team. Let's see what... Let's see with upgrading Batu, even from, like, what is it, Elite to Mythic. No EX10, though. Let's see if he does any kind of significant increase. Against this boss that's essentially the same boss that we've had in multiple events. This is one thing I'm kind of bummed about. Feels like they definitely phoned in this aspect of it. Feel like we phoned that in. Oh, why is that on ×1? Must have been doing some kind of testing. Yeah, his damage is still trash, but he's mainly just there to boost Moto's damage. But Dominic's damage with the new Immortal set is beautiful. He's really crushing Moto. Don't hate to see that. Yeah, I mean, what are, I'll throw this one out. When you guys are going to Mortal Gear, who's the first one you're going for? Mine was Nord, but not everybody has Nord. I also, like, my summoners have always been really strong, so they help me get the Marauder Immortal pieces. So that was kind of why I went with somebody with Marauder stuff first. Dom, yeah. Dom was my number 2. So I get that. And he's probably, I don't know, I guess it depends on the content, but he's probably the hardest single target hitter, right? The only one in the conversation is Rebecca. But I think Dom beats her in most events. Most events. Alright, how we do? Is that a new record? Yay! Hooray! And there was much rejoicing. Yay, more cards. Is that enough to get another Batu? Because that would be cool. Nope, that's not what I want. Collab shop. Oh, it's sold out or refreshes in 6 days, though. And I do have enough. Okay. Well, at least I'm going to get another one for sure. I don't know what to do with these 1,200 other ones. And by the way, could they have made the common secret component and the advanced secret component any closer? Like, make one yellow. Why are those so close? It's absurd. Anyway. Just another rant from me you didn't expect. Bow, bow, bow. Alright. What do we got? I started pairing Dom with my Hunter team when I use a stupid Hunter team, so he's really important to my teams. Yeah. He's, just like I started to use Rebecca inside of Crimson Abyss to help smash out some of the time hacks in like 10 and 11 and 12. A bit of a plug and play just because they do so much single target damage, which is nice. Marduk said Sif first and Ampu first for Guild Hunt. Nice, very guild oriented. Proud of you, team player. I would love to get Sif in some Immortal Gear. Sif's my girl, but I don't think I'm... Oh, I do have One Piece on her. That was obviously who I started to go for. So Marduk gets 100 points for me. Keep track of your points because I'm not good at keeping track of anything. Yeah, I'm shy on these, which is a bummer. But yeah, I would love to get Sif up there. What's the Immortal effect? Gain 15% damage amplification, will no longer lose HP over time. Okay, so your summons aren't taking hits. And you're gaining summon damage. Cool. Yeah, that's a pretty solid Immortal bonus. I don't mind that. Alright, the other thing I wanted to see is now that we got Caraxia up. That's how she does. Banging out the damage. Agreed, I'm too colorblind to see the difference in those cards. Yeah, why do those cards look so... like, make them a different color. Just weird. It's hard to upgrade their gear pieces with shitty drops. Yeah, the drop rate is frustrating. Like, I have both what Nord and I have 2 Immortal sets of Marauder gear. Whoops. Because my summoners are strong and have been banging out that high level of Mirage space for a while, but the drops are still bad. They're really bad. I also really like how anybody see any of my assassins up? There's one. Kind of way up there. My assassins are just internally beating this dude up right now. Not the best if you really enjoy watching like graphics. Not the best. Alright, are we gonna get to 41 on the crates? I bang out 40 pretty regularly. Caraxia's damage still pretty low though. Maybe a bit of survivability with it. Not wildly impressed. Are we gonna get a new record though? Are we gonna get to 41 crates? New record. There is no 41 crates. Because I passed 400,000. So 40 crates is the highest. All right. Interesting. I don't think I knew that. Do we get another record on this other one? Let's see. Yeah, new record, but still 40. Okay. I was really like, oh, I want to get to 41. I never even paid attention that you can't get there. I've been told the devs will look at them when they come back from vacation. Yeah. Whatever. At least they said they're going to look at them. Again, that's kind of the nice thing about Eternal Evolution. Like, the developers actually talk to us and, like, we can complain and they can say, like, oh, we'll look into that, or, nah, that's just the way it is. So if they could fix the drop rates to be a little bit higher, because I have a pretty advanced account. I'm at 31 million, and I have 2 heroes with an immortal set, Nord and Dom, and that's it. And what, Sif here has 1 piece. I could probably like bang out like 1 or 2 other random pieces. Yeah, like Mirage Stone. So I could get some Marauder stuff up. And I could get 1 piece of Resonant or Opportunistic or Hawkeye and Blessed up. But that's it. Oh, what are those? God, I can get a ton of Surge, Burst, and Sun. All right, so apparently I need to do some gear work. Moral of the story is a higher drop rate would be nice. Even though, holy cow, do I need to put some work into Jaina, probably? I don't know. I'll have to look at that. Hate to break it to you, but I bought 3 copies so far, and she's still not usable. Break my heart and my wallet. Yeah, Caraxia, I was really, like, I don't know if you saw earlier, but I just now got the 2nd copy to evolve her when I pulled earlier. And, yeah, that was pretty disappointing. Sif. Sif was usable with only a couple of copies and multiple content. Pandemonium was usable with almost no copies. I feel like there was another one. Like, Womagon's still not bad. Barog's still not bad. And, like, they're not even immortal. Taresh. I used Taresh. I feel like there's been some heroes that are pretty usable, like, really, really low. So you figure the SP would also, but pretty unimpressed considering, like you said, the hit to the wallet. Cody says, I have Dom and Rick an Immortal set and Womi an Immortal Surge. Oh, you have Womagon and Immortal Surge. Interesting. Is that a recommended for him? Surge? I mean, not that recommendeds are the be-all, end-all, obviously. Filter sets. No, it's definitely not. Because what all does he have? He has that, like, tail swipe. That's an AoE. What else does he have? I'm obviously not real familiar with Womagon. Okay. Damage to enemies in front. And increased radius, so that's an AoE. Taunts all enemies. Shield. To all enemies. Okay, so then he's going to hit all enemies. So he does have some AoE stuff. Against targets in front once they're in dragon form. So again, an AoE. Okay. In the dragon form, all basic attacks target enemies in front. Okay. So yeah, quite a bit of AoE. His ult, Rex and Surge. Okay. Yeah, and once he's in dragon, then he's doing quite a bit more. Interesting. So what do you run? Like, Surge with, like, HP? Yeah, Surge makes him a monster, especially in PvP. Do you just run it with HP bonuses then and Surge set? I assume. Because isn't all his damage still HP based? 20% of max HP. Max HP, max HP. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I had not heard that, probably because I don't really have a Womagon worth talking about, but that's interesting. It's sad, bro. Spent 3 to 4K for a temporary hero. I upped Moto to 1 immortal, and she does more damage. I don't know what to say. Yeah. You know, at this point, I would say if you want to drop money into the game, I do not think Caraxi is the way to go. Maybe the Astral cards, just because of all the benefits and gear and stuff you get from the Astral cards. Like, you can pull random triple S's. You're gaining these premium items. I mean, 36.9% chance for this stuff. So, like, you're getting good stuff from the cards. But I don't know. I don't know. Dude, a +5 Surgeon Vig, yeah. +5 Womi will advance your whole account so far, PvP-wise, and +5 Womi is pretty unstoppable and doesn't cost 3k. Yeah, again, I just, like, I can't find the energy or the effort to get into PvP that hard just because the rewards aren't that good. Like, if you're going to go Ultimate Whale and get, like, the Summit Arena, like, massive rewards, like, yeah, they're there then. But that's, I mean, it's so rare and so hard to get up there to that top percent. I mean, you got to get top 16, get a Gene Hybrid, and frankly, like, to be like top 2 and only get 50 Mythic Runes is pretty sad. So I don't know. It just, the rewards for me for PvP are just not nearly what they are for PvE. I mean, the Ancient Altar's so old, but you get a ton of Gene Hybrid shards from this. And you get some limited cards. I don't know. For PvP, if I really wanted to focus on PvP, you're right. Womagon would be a huge way to go. And tanks in general do very well. But I don't know. It's just not where I'm at right now. Astro cards can be worth it if you expect you only get blue cards and no Caraxi shards will make you upset. Yeah, you gotta focus on, like, hey, I got Gene Hybrid shards and I got what are those other things? Help me. These things, the Universal Crystal shards are really good and important. And I got a Pandemonium and a Zaida, so that's cool. Got a couple of tanks because they're like, hey, he talked about he needs work on his tanks. No, I agree. It will cost you a lot to +5 your Womb, but I'm no whale man. Mine's only yeah, and that's kind of where I am at too. I just, you know, whatever. If I had infinite resources, Womagon would for sure be there, but still in that pick and choose. And tanks do so well with him not up that high that whatever. I'm kind of leaving him where he is for now. Would love to have him. I know he does amazing things. Don't have the resources for him right now. Saving up my Gene Hybrids for that tank Time Traveler that's coming. Because I got, what, like 3 of them? Where are they? Yeah, I got 3 now. Hopefully get a copy or 2, so. Hopefully we go with that. Alright, what else we got? Anybody got anything? Lord of the Rings? Eternal Evolution? I'm going to pull some recruitment cards for Advanced. Because I want to get up to that 500. These are all just worthless at this point. It is kind of a bummer, I will say, that this game's not even out a year. And these advanced cards mean absolutely nothing to me. The only reason to have them at all is to pull for Hero Rally events. Like, I'm not going to get a single thing in here that helps. Which is a bummer. They have basic, advanced, and limited cards. And basic and limited now mean nothing to me. Pretty big bummer. I would love if they could kind of change that. Maybe at the 1-year mark they'll make some other triple S's other than Anaretta fall into that advanced hero category. Some of the ones that have been like Crete, some of the ones that have been a bit more power crept out would be awesome, because these advanced cards, just absolutely nothing. Monty, still waiting for that upgrade of the Ancient Altar. They really need to give it free-to-play way to get Astrals, but it seems like they went super free-to-play friendly to, hey, I need money. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, here's what I will agree with. They have shifted ever since Nord went behind a paywall. They have shifted, in my opinion, to being more money-based. But frankly, this game was so free to play friendly that I'm not surprised they had to make a shift at some point. I mean, coming from other games like Raid and Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, this game was absurdly free to play friendly. And it's still, to this day, one of the more free to play friendly games I've ever played. So I'm not surprised that they kind of shifted a little bit. It's almost like, hey, we're going to give you 6 months of like, this is wildly free to play friendly. And then like once you're hooked on our game and how good our game is, then we're going to start pulling it back and like trying to earn a little bit more from it because you know you love our game and you're hooked. Which, I don't know. Again, at the end of the day, there are hundreds of thousands of people that play this game for absolutely free and get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So God bless every whale that's going out there. And I don't really think they're doing anything dirty. You know, it's just a business philosophy. You don't have to pay. You don't have to play their game if you don't want to. So I don't blame them. I do miss the days when they were a little bit more free to play friendly. But at the end of the day, this is business. This is them trying to make some money so they can retire early and not do crap jobs. So good for them. They created a really enjoyable game. I don't know. That's my random thoughts. I think everybody in the chat got real quiet because they're either downloading Eternal Evolution or Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth and playing those right now. That's my theory. Monty, advanced cards. Yeah, I'm hoping at the year. I think it would be cool. And I think that's like a simple fix too, right? At the end of the year, so in November, make, throw up Crete and Guan Yu and some of the other triple S's that are far less valuable at this point. Azina. Throw some of those up here. So that these advanced cards do something other than get us stuff for the Hero Rally. This is only point of those right now is to help get us to this 500 to get a triple S we care about. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like that would be a very simple change too. In the devs' defense, I don't think it was them. It's the people who own the devs. So, I mean, sad these things. I love this game too, bro. Yeah, I mean, it's still a great game. I still love this game. I'm a little disappointed with the collab event. I was hoping for a little bit more. But the heroes seem solid. And it really kind of opens the door for other collab events and stuff moving forward, which will bring more heroes into the game. I don't know. Eternal Evolution, I'm still very positive on in general, which is good. If you can play a game for a year and still be that positive. This isn't a side game for me. It's my main game. But this is my game, my only game I play. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. This was essentially, I mean, this is the main game for my channel. You know, hey, God, I went flying there for a minute. I'm opening it up to some other things. I made Star Wars content. I'm making Lord of the Rings. Watcher of Realms I find very interesting right now. So I'm looking into some other things, but Eternal Evolution is still essentially my bread and butter, and I'm fine with that. It's still a great game. I enjoy Eternal Evolution. It's just good to kind of keep your eye on some other things. And this is what I was talking about earlier with the Watcher of Realms. For those of you that didn't see the video when I was going on my arena rant, I think the arena here is so cool because it's currently AoE, but it changes. So weekly challenges, single target DPS and AoE DPS, but it's also like anti-air, single target, sustain damage. Like, so your arena is bouncing around. So it's not only not the same thing every time, but like if you're weak in one area, just know that there's an arena that's going to come up that might suit your team a little bit better. So that's why I really love their arena as compared to some other games' arenas. So there you go. If you guys haven't checked out Watcher of Realms and you're looking for another one too, because neither... Okay, stop flying all over the place. Neither Eternal Evolution or Lord of the Rings is speaking to you. Maybe check out Watcher of Realms. Pretty interesting. Very much like Raid Shadow Legends in a lot of aspects. Other than like core gameplay. Like the drawing the cards and some of the events and everything are very, very, very Raid Shadow Legends. But the gameplay is very different. Very cool. All right. Monty, I tried Star Wars and Watcher, but it just didn't hit like EE, man. Yeah, Star Wars is crazy different, just like Lord of the Rings. And Watcher, I don't know. I'm having a lot of fun with Watcher of Realms, actually. I haven't made a ton of videos on it or anything yet, just because I can't. It's like my third game at this point, so it gets the least amount of focus, but I do enjoy it. It's fun, and it's challenging, and it just started too, so it's going to continue to open up. Star Wars, but like Eternal Evolution is very like quick game, especially when you start it. Watcher of Realms is a very quick game, especially when you start it. Star Wars and like Lord of the Rings are painfully slow when you start. So you gotta. In my opinion, the only reason Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth exist at this point is because of the franchises and the characters associated with them. Like Eternal Evolution just made all these people up, right? Other than Ghost in the Shell, which they made up. But like Eternal Evolution just made all these heroes up and is really successful. If you had made Lord of the Rings or Eternal Evolution with like Lord of the Rings heroes or Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, this game would boom out of control. This game would be unbelievably massive if you had like Star Wars heroes here or Lord of the Rings or really any like of those massive Star Trek. Like throw in a fantasy huge, not genre. You know what I'm trying to say though. Throw in one of those and this Eternal Evolution game model would be absurd. Absurd. In my opinion. There we go. All right, but we are coming up on 2 hours. So I think we'll go ahead and call it a wrap for here. I really, really, really appreciate everybody chiming in with their questions, comments, concerns, everything. I love the interaction. I love the communities of both Eternal Evolution and Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth. As always, guys, if you want to see a video, franchise is the word I'm looking for. Thank you, Adam. I was right in the middle of my rant, and then you brought up franchise. Thank you. Franchise is absolutely what I was looking for. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns on anything Eternal Evolution, anything Lord of the Rings, please feel free to throw it out on any of my videos, and I will try to get back to you the best I can. If you have an idea for a video, feel free to throw it out. I'm active in Discord as much as possible for both Lord of the Rings and Eternal Evolution, so hit me up in one of the various ways you can hit me up. I'm always interested in starting a dialogue and increasing community interaction, because essentially all these videos I'm making, I'm just trying to make a better community. I'm trying to help some people out. So hopefully they do help. And we'll get into it. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming content. And as always, guys, have fun. Good luck.